Hi, this is Paul. I want to kind of do a post-season video about my Mets. We lost to the Dodgers in Game 6. Okay, so the Dodgers are playing the Yankees in the World Series right now, two teams I can't stand, so I won't be watching any of the World Series, okay? I'm petty that way, so I'm not going to watch any of it, okay? Uh, but I know the Mets has a lot of things to take care of, and like I said, they got a lot of money coming off the books. I think over $110 million is coming off the books for the Mets, so they got plenty of Steve Cohen's money to burn, to spend. So David Stearns, who I definitely like what he did this season, and so I have full faith that he will give the Mets what they do. And among the several topics is, of course, Pete Alonso. He's be a free agent, and I would like them to re-sign him because I think Pete redeemed him. He had a down year. I think some of the pressure got to him that he was basically playing for a new contract. But I think he redeemed himself and hitting that home run. That was the biggest home run he hit of his career. That home run he hit against Milwaukee. Okay, and and so I have full faith. I think Pete Alonso will definitely bounce back. Okay, once he signs the contract, I think he'll relax and he'll have a typical Pete year, which I think to me he's more in the upper 40 because Pete is a slugger. Okay, that's what he is. Okay, and I think he was pressing a little bit too much this year, but Pete is a slugger. Okay, he set the Met rookie home run record by hitting 53 home runs, I think it was. So I think Pete is in that 30 to 45 range. I think he can hit a home runs when he's right. Okay, when he's not pressing so much and not chasing outside so much. So I definitely want them to bring Pete back, and definitely at a reasonable rate because I know there might be a bunch of suitors for Pete, especially off what he did in the playoffs. So I know people are talking about maybe the Astros might go for the Cubs or whatever, but I hope David Stern makes a decent offer to him and extension, and he takes it and he signs. But I know Scott Burrows is his agent, so he may see what he can get out in the open market before he comes back to the Mets. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we keep Pete, Polar Bear Pete. I'm a big fan of him. I got these cups and I have two of them with Pete's face on it right over there. Oh wait, hold on for a minute. There we go. There's Pete right there. There's two Met cups. I love collecting Met cups when I go to the Met games. There's Polar Bear Pete. Please, Pete, come back. I would like him to come back. But like I said, you don't know because Scott Burrows was his agent, so you may tell him, we want you to test the open market and see how much you can get because somebody else may want to pay him more, and it may be above what David Stearns wants to pay. So we may have to move on, but I hope not because I want Pete to be a. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. That's Jeff McNeil. I'm sorry, I was not. That's Pete Alonso, right there, right there. That's Pete Alonso. The other pit was, what? Because why I didn't recognize Jeff O'Neill? He looked like Pete because he had a haircut. Jeff O'Neill usually has long hair. Okay, but there's Pete right there, and there's Pete right there, and then that's Jeff McNeil right there. Okay, but we're talking about Pete Alonso right there. Pete Alonso there, and Pete Alonso right there. Okay, but anyway, I hope they make him an offer, and I hope he takes it because I think he wants to. He would like to retire as a Met. I think that would be good to have he set the home run record as a Met too because Darryl Strawberry has that record, which is okay. Darryl, and again, that was another thing that I really, when Darryl left back then, it really kind of pissed me off that he went to the Dodgers and stuff. That the Mets didn't. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling. But anyway, hope Pete stays. And also, like I said, they're also talking about Juan Soto. I know that's been mentioned a lot because he's going to be a free agent, and Scott Burrows is his agent, and he's young. He's 25, okay, and he basically hit the Yankees into the World Series, okay. So he's going to get the most money. He's a free agent. Now, the thing that we may have an advantage of it on the Yankees, I guess, depending if they win or lose the World Series. I guess maybe if they win the World Series, maybe Juan Soto will say, you know what, let me stay. Let me take a little bit less and stay. Although I don't know if his agent will tell him that. He'll say, no, you get the most money. Especially if the Mets overwhelm him with a bigger offer. And I would be worried about it if George Steinbrenner was owning the team, but he's long past dead, and his sons are a little bit more conservative. So I don't know if the Mets blow him away with an offer. He may just take Scott Burrows and say, just take it. Okay, you're already in New York anyway. You just go, of course, you go from the Bronx to Queens. Okay, and you know the Mets are gonna, be competitive. Okay, with you on the team, you and Lindor and Ventos. Okay, maybe Alonso too. That Met team that lineup would be great if you had Soto, Alonso, uh, Lindor, and Ventos. Those four right there, killer lineup. Okay, killer lineup. And anyway, and also what I want the Mets to do is straight. See, the pitching staff is going to be weird because the Mets signed a bunch of pitchers to 1-year contracts and they're up. So Mania, I want them to bring him back, the lefty. Okay, Sereno, I could take him or leave him. So we know Singer's going to come back. Singer is going to be. Hopefully he'll be healthy. You know, he have the whole off season to get healthy. He was our ace last year, so he'll be the ace going forward. Peterson, I think he's going to earn a spot. I think he's going to earn a spot in the rotation, so that's 2. And the other lefty, which I don't, he's 36 years old. I forgot his name. He may or may not bring him back. But I would like them to sign an ace. But I think they may get some of the young kids. Maybe have 2 of the young kids compete for the, for the rotation. And I think it's better maybe to have 3 veterans in your lineup and maybe 2 young people, maybe depending on I guess how it goes in spring training. Okay, like so Peterson, Mania. If they sign one of the top pitchers, that'll be 3, right? Okay, and then if 2 of the young guys they have in the minor leagues, if they make the rotation, that could be the 5. Then they also need 3. I think they need 3 arms in the bullpen. Okay, I know Budo was one of the guys they were talking about. He was a reliever. He was absolutely awful. Okay, so they think about stretching him out and let him compete for the rotation because they think maybe his stuff is better in the rotation. And what else? I say keep Garrett, resign Ryan Stanek. I think he'll be a great 8th inning guy. And I think let that guy, I forgot his name, the right-hander, the young right-hander looking guy. He was good in the beginning, but then it looks like he's going to cry every time he comes in the game. I think they have a team option on him. I think they should let him go. Okay, and sign 3 good or at least 2 good relievers. Bring 2 relievers in, and you can have one of the young kids that doesn't make the rotation. You can throw them in the bullpen. Okay, so I think definitely you have to straighten the bullpen because that was why do you think why Mendoza went to Diaz in the 4th inning of the game 6 because he didn't trust any of those other guys out there. He didn't trust them. He literally didn't, and they proved it. Okay, so that's why I think we have to strengthen our bullpen and strengthen the rotation. Okay, that's why I said bring Mania back, give him a 3-year contract. I think it would be nice. He's 33, I think. So a 3-year contract I think would be nice. Him, Peterson. Okay, and I think you can sign one of those top 3 pitchers. Okay, to the rotation, and then you let the young people compete for those 2 rotation spots. And hopefully they'll do that. Or if they don't, you could always, like I said, sign another person and either put one of those 2 young guys in the bullpen, okay, and sign maybe 2 strong bullpen arms to straighten out your bullpen because that's what I think the Mets need. They need to straighten the bullpen out. You get somebody that's reliable and that you don't have to worry about. Hold on, I'll tell you who this guy is. Just because it's annoying me. New York Mets 2024 relievers. Yeah, Phil Madden. That's the guy I was thinking about. Phil Madden, who I'm sorry, he looks like he's about to cry every time he comes in the game. I think they said this. I heard somebody say they got a team option with him, so I would get rid of him because he looks like he cracks under pressure. And Reed Garrett, that's the other guy who actually pitched pretty good, except for that one game where he gave up. When the Mets had game 5, when the Mets had a 10-2 lead, he gave up a 3-run home run. And they got to change the philosophy. And Adabantavino he's like almost 40. Let him go. I say re-sign Ryan Stanek. He's a real tough He's a right-handed, and he actually challenges pitchers. And I think that's the thing about a bullpen. You gotta build a good bullpen. You gotta get guys that are fearless. Okay, guys that are not afraid to challenge the hitters. Okay, so here's my best stuff, and you gotta hit it. Okay, not that I'm scared to throw to you. Here's my best stuff, and you gotta hit it. Okay, exactly. Not guys that try to dance around. And I think that was the problem with this Met bullpen. There were guys that were just too shaky. Like Ottavino, they didn't even put him on the roster because they knew he was 30. He's almost 39, and he was just not good. So they didn't even put. And Phil Maton, like I said, they said he was good in the beginning when he first, as a guy that Mets got in the trade deadline. And then he just started. After he just looks like basically he's gonna cry every time he's in the bullpen. I mean, he looks like he gets on the mound. He looks like he's about to cry. And Reed Garrett, I think, can be good. You just got to fine tune him. Like I said, Adam Ottavino can go, but Ryan Stanek, he's the one that impressed me because he actually challenged the hitters and stuff. He had some big strikeouts in that playoff series with the Dodgers. So I would re-sign him. I would re-sign him, let him be the 8th inning guy, the bridge to get to Diaz. Okay, I would sign him, but I think you definitely need to bring in two, like a lefty and another, at least 2 arms. I think out of the organization, guys that are challenged, and you got to. Like I said, the pitching coach, you got to tell your relievers, challenge guys. Say, listen, here's my best stuff. You got to hit it. You put it in play. Don't be dancing around these guys trying to pitch fine. You got to challenge these hitters. That's the only way. And I think hopefully you can build up the Met bullpen and their starting rotation. And I think we got a bright future going forward. Okay, we got a nice minor league system and stuff, and I have full faith in David Stearns. He will, do what he has to do, and hopefully we'll get Pete back. Maybe Juan Soto if he wants to come. And I know people were talking about getting Vlad Guerrero from Toronto. I think they said he has a 1 year. He has 1 year left on his contract or something like that. And he's 25. I think people were saying that as a backup in case maybe somebody overwhelms him. Maybe the Astros say here's $200 million for 6 years or whatever, and he takes it and he leaves the Mets. Then trade for Vlad Guerrero. Okay, who has, he can hit 30 home runs and stuff. He can hit 30 home runs and driving a bunch of runs, and he's 25. That's the thing. He's 25 years old. I think he has 1 more year before he's eligible for, to become a free agent. So he can drive in, and he could replace Pete if Pete decides to leave. And he's young. He's 25. Okay, he's 5 years younger than Pete Alonso. So I would like Pete to stay. Okay, that's my preference. But if he leaves, I can't blame him. Get the most money you can get, Pete. I won't be mad at you for getting the most money. You are a great Met, and so if you had to go because the Mets said we can't go that high, I would be sad about it. But I would understand and just wish him well. And if they can get Vlad Guerrero Jr. from Toronto to play first, and he can hit 30 home runs. He has that potential to hit 30 home runs. So you have him, Ventos, Lindor, and if they sign Soto, that's an awesome lineup. Okay, that's a killer lineup. Okay, so and I think will get better. Alvarez will get better. The catcher, I think he will better. Especially, I would have him. Especially, I don't know if I have him play winter ball so he can learn how to, because there was moments where he was just killing us in the playoffs, but then towards the end of the series with the Dodgers, he actually started hitting. So. But I would have him work on his hitting because he just seems like he's hacking all the time. Doesn't have an idea of what he's doing. So I would have somebody work on his hitting in the off season. But that's it. I think again, I was intrigued when I heard one of these podcasts was saying that trade for Vlad Guerrero. So that would be if that's just the case. Pete leaves. That would be great. Okay, that would be freaking awesome. Because Vlad Guerrero is only 25 years old. Okay, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is only 25 years old. I get a younger guy, 5 years younger than Pete, that can hit 30 more home runs. I would not pass on it. He can play the position. I would jump all over that if Pete leaves. Again, that's just if Pete leaves. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. Again, we had a good season this year. Like I said, the Mets. I'm gonna always be a Met fan, and now I'm glad we got the right owner in there. We got the right GM, and I have full faith they're gonna get this team. And I want Francis Lindor to get I want him to get a World Series ring because he deserves it. He's a great player, a a great Met, and just again, I want him to get a World Series ring. Okay, and I want to be able to go to that parade because the last World Series the Mets were in was, of course, was 2015, and that's when they played the Royals and stuff, and I get to see, of course, we lost, and then 2000 when they played the Yankees, they lost, and when '86 when they went to the World Series, I was overseas. Believe it or not, I was in the Air Force, and I was in Turkey, so I couldn't be here when when they won the World Series and had the parade and stuff. So my mom taped the World Series games for me and sent me articles and stuff. But I would have loved to go into that parade. That would have been awesome. And that's why I want to be able to go to a parade when the Mets are world champions. I want to be able to go to the parade. Okay, actually, I'll take off work to go. Okay, and I want to I'll have a Met jacket and my hat and all that stuff and just my flags and I just want to bask in my Metness. Okay, because I'm a longtime Met fan and we deserve it. And now that I know we got the right owner in there, the right GM, I think we're gonna in the next couple of years. I think we're gonna get that world championship. And I will get my chance to go to that parade. Okay, and you know what? Be freaking awesome to get on one of the parade floats. Although you probably couldn't. The security would be up to by. You can't get on that would be get on the parade float and just wave. Like that would be great just to have a float with just the fans on it. Just maybe at the end and just waving to the people and stuff. Longtime Mets fans on it. That would be great to do that. But again, that's just me. Anyway, again, I'm proud Met fans. We fell short this year, but I got good faith that we're going to get there eventually sometime. So anyway, again, so this eulogy, this is my opinion on the Mets 2024 season and hopes for the future. So I think we're going to be good going forward. I got a good feeling things are going to be good for us going forward. So anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also have a link to my main channel, Trepacer, as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. And Patreon, again, is only $5 a month. Tons of content on there. Tons of unedited content on there. Over 200 videos on there. Everything's broken into 5 collections: a movie collection, a Star Wars TV show collection, a Marvel TV show collection, a DC TV collection, and a Gen V and the Boys collection. You get 5-minute preview clips of all the content on there. Follow the link down below. Check that out. Also have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing one of the baseball shirts for my logo. I have t-shirts, hats, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, coffee cup mugs. Okay, for men, women, unisex. Follow the link down below. Again, that's another way to support me. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.